Hello, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Jason Lichtman, and I'm going to be your host for today. Today's topic, improve tracking with barcodes using Prodsmart. We have a packed agenda. Let's go over it together. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about me so that we get to know each other. Then I'm going to give you an introduction to Prodsmart. So if you're an existing customer or you are new to Prodsmart, you're going to learn a whole bunch about what Prodsmart can do and why it's important for your business. Then I'm going to go over 3 key benefits of using Prodsmart. Then 3 key benefits of using barcodes within Prodsmart. And then the last, to make this a trifecta, 3 use cases for barcode scanning in Prodsmart. After we go over each of these use cases, the first being identifying a worker, the second being working on a specific operation via a paper traveler, and the third, performing inventory movements, I'll show you how to actually access the barcodes from within Prodsmart itself. Lastly, we'll talk a little bit about how you can reach the Prodsmart team. If you have any questions about Prodsmart, whether you're an existing customer or, of course, you're interested in Prodsmart for your business, we want to help you throughout your evaluation process. So let's kick it off. A little bit about me, your presenter today. My name is Jason Lichtman, and I'm a senior technical specialist for Fusion 360 and Prodsmart. My job here at Autodesk is to learn about our customers based on what I learn about your needs, your current software, your challenges. I help show you how Fusion 360 or Prodsmart or both can help improve what you're already doing well. I've been at Autodesk for the last 5 years now, and I have to say I love my job. I'm very, very lucky. I come from a background in mechanical engineering. I studied both undergraduate and master's, and I've spent the last 10 years or so designing consumer products, taking ideas and turning them into 3D models, turning those 3D models into prototypes, and those prototypes into mass production. Of course, Prodsmart itself is going to focus on the production itself, the production tracking, the ability to actually use that data so that not only you can see what's happening in real time, but that you could actually help improve your business and make it way better. But let's let the experts show you what we're talking about. So I have a video that I'm going to show you about Prodsmart. It's a quick 2-minute video that's going to recap exactly what Prodsmart does and how it does it. I'll be back with you in 2 minutes.
Operating a production facility can be complicated, with a constant need to monitor everything from raw materials through to finished goods. To help address the challenges, production managers look to manufacturing execution systems, or MES, to track their production processes. But often these can be expensive to set up, painful to integrate, and under-deliver on addressing their true needs. Autodesk Prodsmart is different. Prodsmart is a go-anywhere, use-anywhere, cloud-connected MES and light enterprise resource planning system, which capitalizes on the use of web browsers and mobile devices for operation. This minimizes the IT overhead needed to get you up and running sooner and gives you the flexibility to start managing your production data today and adapt to your business as it grows. Focus on what's important, like monitoring your operations through production tracking dashboards and audit-ready quality compliance reports fed by real-time information collected from the shop floor, making it easy to visualize your production efficiency all the way from orders to shipping. Manage your teams, machines, and materials to optimize your production capacity and increase manufacturing throughput with material and resource planning, helping to minimize waste and reduce the environmental impact of your business. With scheduling for preventive or corrective machine maintenance to reduce production downtime. And integrate with upstream or downstream resource planning, customer relationships, and product lifecycle management systems to keep your data synchronized and prevent duplication. So, whether you need to improve your production workflow and execution, cope with change and quality management, or get visibility on throughput and machine maintenance, get your business future ready with Autodesk Prodsmart.
Now let's cover 3 key benefits that I think everyone who's using Prodsmart gains access to. The first is that Prodsmart is going to automate and digitize your manufacturing process. It's going to take your existing process and digitize it so that it's easier to input the data so that you can actually get the job done faster. By doing that, you're going to get real-time visibility of what's happening on your shop floor. So you're going to know what's being worked on, what the progress is of that production order, and a whole lot more. Lastly, you're going to get longer-term analytics to help you improve the efficiency of your business. If one of your workers has a lower efficiency than all of your other workers, you're going to be able to see that and help retrain that worker. If another one of your workers has a higher scrap rate or a particular machine has a higher scrap rate, you're going to be able to pick that information out too, again, to be able to address the problem and improve the efficiency of your business. It's all about being able to raise your revenue and decrease your costs. Now, keep in mind, of course, that the first two values you're going to be able to get immediately. As soon as you start using Prodsmart, you're going to get the automation through the digitization of your manufacturing process, and you're going to get the real-time visibility of what's happening on the shop floor. But those longer-term analytics require data to build up over time. And so that's something that comes through usage over time. Now, there are three benefits of barcode scanning itself. The first benefit is that it's faster to input the data through barcode scanning than it would be for manually inputting that data. The second benefit is that putting in that data manually is prone to errors. Putting in that same data through barcode scanning is a lot less error prone. So you're going to have better data and more accurate data. And lastly, it's more fun. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's as fun as going to an amusement park or going to a sporting event, but it is more fun than inputting the data manually. And that to me is a benefit as well. There are three use cases we're going to cover today. Now, keep in mind that there are plenty of more use cases than the three that I'm going to show you, but I want to show you three practical examples of what it looks like to use Prodsmart for barcode scanning. For each of these examples, I'm going to show you what it looks like without barcode scanning, and then what it looks like with the barcode scanning. So first, we're going to talk about identifying a worker. And when I say identifying a worker, I mean identifying which worker is working on a particular thing that you start working on. So for example, you're going to start a production order. Who's actually working on it? It could be me, it could be someone else. Prodsmart is going to want to know who that person is. And we're going to help you be able to make that happen really easily. Now, to make all of this easy for you to see, I'm actually going to pull up a mobile device. So I'm using an Apple iPad. You could be using an Android device. You could be using a mobile phone. There are a variety of different devices you could use with Prodsmart. And I'm using a screen mirroring application. So you're going to be able to see exactly what's happening on my iPad on your screen. So anything that's happening on this iPad is also happening on your screen. I'm going to turn off my video so you can focus just on what's happening on my tablet. Perfect. All right, cool. So let's get into the Prodsmart application. This is the mobile device, and you can see that I have a variety of different things that I could actually do here. Now, this is all configurable. So you can have different employees have access to different features, and you can also limit certain features so that your employees only have access to what they need. Now, when your employee goes to start a production, they're going to hit insert production in the top left. And the first thing it's going to ask them for is their worker ID or their card number. They can go and type it in. Each worker has a unique number and hit OK. And then it's going to ask them what production order they're going to work on. They're going to choose that, choose the product they're going to work on, choose the operation they're going to work on, and so on. Now, I'm going to cancel that real quick. Now, keep in mind, of course, that in your shop, you might have tablets that are shared by all the workers that might be at a particular station. And that's why we make it so that each of your workers is going to log in as them each time that they do an operation. If you happen to have unique tablets or mobile devices for each of your workers, keep in mind, of course, that they can click on worker screen, which is located in the bottom left-hand corner right now. And when they go to the worker screen, they're also going to log in as themselves. So I'll just go and do that real quick. But in this case, it knows exactly who this person is So when you go to insert production, it doesn't ask each time, it goes right into the production order and then the product and then the operation, because it already knows who that worker is. And it will stay as that worker until you click the button in the top right corner, which is going to go back to the standard view, which it would be like for a shared device. So keep in mind that even though I'm going to show you scanning quite a few times, I'm doing this on purpose so that you could see it over and over again. If you wanted to eliminate that scan, you can do that by using the worker screen view. I showed you the standard way to be able to choose who you are. Let's actually show you the other method. First thing I'm gonna do is turn on my camera again for a second. This is my Autodesk badge, and on the very back of it, I have my barcode from Prodsmart. Now, at Autodesk, we don't exactly do production, except for in this demonstration. So I have this as a paper printout that I tape to the back of my badge. And if you were doing this in production, of course, you would just print this properly on the badge as like part of the real badge itself. I'm going to go and put my badge down on the table. We're going to go and do an insert production from my iPad. And instead of typing in the number, we're going to click the camera in the top right corner. And now it's going to invoke the camera that's part of the iPad. It's going to show me a green window, and I can zoom in, start to bring that iPad closer to my badge. And now it scans it and it knows exactly who I am. Now, keep in mind, I call myself in this demo Rockstar. In your case, it would have an actual name. Now I would go and start my production order, choose the product, and then of course the operation. And now I'm going to go and see things like my work instructions, so I know exactly what to do to actually manufacture this. I can also have things like QR codes so that I can bring up videos to actually see how to make this. But I'm going to go and confirm this, and now I'm starting production. Keep in mind, we talked earlier about one of the values of Prodsmart being that with Prodsmart, you're going to get real-time visibility of what's happening on your shop floor. So here I am in the Prodsmart dashboard, and what you can see in the top left corner here is the production started for production order number 1 on that particular product, and this is the operation that just started. I can also see that there's an ongoing production order. I could see that there's one worker working and one machine or assembly area that's being worked on as well. So I could see a whole lot of important information. All right, let's get back to our iPad here. And let's bring this to full screen. Excellent. Now, when that worker is done, they're going to insert production again. It's going to ask them to log in if they're not using that worker screen that I showed you before. Now I'm going to go and scan my badge one more time. It's going to ask me how many of these products I actually produced. I'm supposed to make 50, and I actually did make 50, so we'll go and hit OK. Confirm that. It's going to ask me how many of these products I actually consumed, and it shows me what I'm supposed to have consumed. Everything looks good, so I'll just go and confirm that and submit that, and now that particular operation is complete. Perfect. If I hide this for just a moment, now you're going to see again in my dashboard that Rockstar has finished producing those 50 parts and everything is looking good. My worker is no longer working, he's temporarily on break, and the same for my machine or assembly station that I was using. Perfect. So this is a great way to be able to recognize very quickly what worker is actually working on something to be able to speed up the input process. Now let's get to our second example. Our second example is working on a specific operation. What you're seeing on the screen right now is what we call a header sheet. And the header sheet is really meant to just be a paper document that shows you what is being worked on, like what's the production order, when is it starting, when is it due, what product is being manufactured, what operations are going to be required as well. And you might recognize this. I mean, this is a pretty common thing that's used, except it's typically called a paper traveler. And the paper traveler looks something like this. And it has very similar information. It has the production order, it has the due date, the quantity that's being ordered, and a list of operations that need to be done to complete this particular product. Once this is filled out, it looks something like this. And once it's filled out, that's where the problems really start. So let's go over what those problems can be. Well, first of all, a lot of people have bad handwriting. And as a result, it means that the paper traveler, once filled out, can be difficult to read and difficult to understand. If you can't read it and you can't understand it, what's the point of filling it out in the first place? The second part of this that I think is important is that the data itself might be collected along the way, but it's only communicated back to management or that back office at the end of the production. Once that paper is completely filled out, and in this case, the production supervisor signs it. That means that there's delayed data capture. It's technically collected along the way, but again, it's not captured by management or that back office until the very end. So that delayed data capture means delayed visibility, and that delayed visibility means delayed problem solving. If there's a problem like a machine gets shut down or materials are missing, you can't exactly respond to it in real time if you're not getting the data in real time. And that's important to note. Lastly, the data is difficult, if not impossible, to analyze as a bigger picture. If I were to ask you, based on this paper traveler, how long did it take to actually complete the cutting operation, you have to do some math. If I were to ask you, what's the average time the cutting operation takes over the course of the last 3 weeks, well, then you're going to need to get paper travelers from the last 3 weeks, sift through all of that data, and chances are you're really going to take that data into something like Excel to digitize it and run the analysis. Well, what if you could actually take that data and input it into something like Excel or some form that you could actually go and analyze right away? That would be really helpful, wouldn't it? Well, let's go and take a look at those benefits that we talked about earlier, right? So we talked about there being 3 key benefits: automate and digitize your manufacturing process, make it easier for you to input the data, and give you real-time visibility of what's happening on the shop floor. And then in bigger picture, we want to be able to give you longer-term analytics to help you improve your business. And so that header sheet that I showed you earlier is a great way to actually achieve that. This header sheet on the top left has your production order. It also has the product you're working on, and it also has each of your operations. But the key is that it has a barcode for each of them to make it even faster and even easier for you to input this data. So let's actually go and take a look at this. So we're going to go and pull up our tablet again. Let's go and full screen this. There we are. And we're going to go through the process of actually starting a production order. Remember, we're going to start with the standard method through Prodsmart, and then we're going to actually show you what it looks like through the new system with barcode scanning. We're going to insert production. It's going to ask me for my worker ID, which I'll type in and hit OK. Then it's going to ask me for my production order. I'll go and choose one. The product, I'll go and choose it. And then the operation that I need to complete. Now it's going to show me my work instructions, and I could go and confirm or start that. Let's go and show you the same process, though, with barcode scanning. So let me go and clear my desk here. I have my header sheet already printed out. I have my badge right next to me as well. So we'll go and insert production. We'll go and scan my badge. There we are. Perfect. Now it knows who I am. I have my header sheet in front of me as well. Now I could scan the production order, then scan the product, then scan the operation, but we try to make this even easier for you. So you can actually just go and scan the barcode related to the operation, because that operation is already tied to the product and tied to the production order. So right away, it already shows me my work instructions, and I could go and confirm this and actually start my production. A great way to actually do this super fast. Now, when I happen to be done, this is a little bit quicker, right? So I'm going to go and scan my badge. It already knows what I'm working on. And so now it's going to ask me how many of these I produced. I was supposed to produce 50. I'll go and confirm that. And now I'm pretty good to go. Let's do this one more time. I'm going to insert my production, scan my badge. Perfect. We'll go and scan what I'm working on next, which is going to be CNC the profile and drill the mounting holes. It already knows what I'm going to be doing, showing me my work instructions, and now I could go and start that as well. So this is a great way to be able to start your production really fast and really easily using those header sheets. Now let's look at our third example. The third example is going to be inventory movements. And inventory movements are a great way to be able to move products from one place to another. And you can make this as simple or as complicated as you'd like. The example that we're going to show here is going to be a little bit more elaborate. So I have different locations set up for each area on the storage rack. And this is just an example. Of course, in real life, you can set this up to be not just storage racks. You could have this be rooms. You could have this be the receiving area. You could have this be the production area, the storage area, or you can make this much more detailed. And within the storage area, you could have different racks or different bins or different boxes. You can make this as detailed as you want. I have here 12 different locations. I have everything from B27A to B27C on the bottom rack, all the way up to the top, B30A to B30C. And for each of these, I have my barcode already set up. And I'm going to show you what it looks like to actually do an inventory movement. Now, what are we going to move today? We're going to move a product that looks like this. This is a jig that's used for assembly, and it's a great way to use like a real life example for this. So we're going to move this from B27A, where it happens to reside right now, and we're going to move this to B28C, right? And we're going to show you what it looks like to actually do that. Just like before, I'm going to show you the slow way to do it, and I'm going to show you the faster way to do that. So let's actually go and pull up our tablet device yet again. There we are. Perfect. And I have a printout of the actual same image you saw just a moment ago. We're going to use that to help us. Perfect. Turn off my video for a moment. This time we're going to scroll down and we're going to do an inventory movement. You can see that just above my mouse right here on the screen. Perfect. I'll get that mouse out of the way. And we're going to do this the slow way. I enter my worker ID. Then it's going to ask me where I'm actually moving this from. I'll choose my main warehouse. B27A is where this is. Where it's going right now is going to be the main warehouse, and it's going to be B28C. Now it's going to ask me what I'm moving. I'll choose the product itself, or if there are lots of products, I can filter by doing a search. It's going to ask me if I want to move a specific lot, and then it'll ask me what the quantity is that I want to move. That looks pretty good, and that's actually a very easy process to follow. But what if we want to do this even faster? So let's scroll down again. We're going to do an inventory movement. This time we're going to use our camera and scan our badge. That looks pretty good. Then it's going to ask me where this is coming from. We'll hit the camera button again. And this time we're going to be scanning B27A from my sheet. Where it's going, let's do another scan. This is going to be B28C on where it's going to. That all registered great. Now, what about the product itself? Well, if you recall, we have our barcode on the product itself. So I could go and use my camera. We're going to go and pull up. Here's my product. Here's the barcode for that product. And now it knows what I'm actually moving. Just like before, I'll choose the lot number. I'll choose the quantity. And now we can go and submit this. And now I have my inventory movement. So really easy way to be able to move things from one place to another using scanning. I'm going to show you how to actually access all of these barcodes. Let's go and turn off our mobile device for just a moment here. Now let's show you how you can actually access all of these barcodes. So here I am in Prodsmart. I'm going to go and start with our workers. So here I am in the workers section. If you want to print out a barcode for a single worker, just go and edit that particular worker. Scroll down and you'll see print ID. This is going to make a sheet with the barcode for your single worker. This is a PDF that you can save or print out if you'd like. Now we're going to go back 2 steps. Here we are seeing all of our workers. If I hit print ID from here, it's going to let me print the ID for all of those workers. Again, this is our PDF, and now you can see that PDF that you can print or save for all of your worker IDs. Let's go and close that. Perfect. Now, what about our production orders and our header sheets? Well, if you go to your production orders, you're going to see all of your production orders available. There's a barcode looking icon for each of these, and it says header sheets. When you select it, it's going to go and create the header sheet for this particular production order. You can see the barcode at the top left for the production order itself, then the barcode for the product, and then the barcode for each individual operation that's required to produce this particular product. And you could, of course, access this for each of your production orders. They will be unique to them. In terms of the inventory movements, there were quite a few different barcodes that I showed. Let's start with the products. So if you go to your products area and you search for your product, here I have the clamping jig that I showed earlier. I can choose the header sheet, and this is going to show me a PDF with the barcode of the product itself. This is the same product barcode that I printed out and placed on the product itself. Perfect. Now let's go back and talk about our warehouses. If you go to inventory, you're going to see that you have an area here called warehouse locations. You can set up however many of these warehouse locations you would like. For each of these, you can select edit, scroll down to the bottom, just like we did for workers, and print the barcode for that specific warehouse location. If you'd like to make your life easier though, and you'd like to print multiple at the same time, go back to the warehouse locations list, scroll down, and you'll see print barcodes. You can print the barcode for all of those locations at once. So I showed you how to access your barcodes, and I showed you all three of those use cases. Now let's talk about how you can reach Prodsmart. If you're interested in learning more, we have phone numbers and email addresses all around the world. If you're in North America like I am, you can see the phone number in the top left corner. And you can also see our email address, Prodsmart Sales Namer for North America at autodesk.com. If you happen to be in Europe, we have plenty of phone numbers specific to your region on the right-hand side, and the email address is going to be prodsmartsalesEMEA at autodesk.com. We also have contact information for Japan, India, Australia, and New Zealand on the screen as well. So if you are currently considering Prodsmart for your business, I highly encourage you to reach out to the Prodsmart team. We are happy to meet with you, learn about your business, and help answer any questions you have. And of course, if you're interested in a demonstration, we're happy to provide a demonstration as well. So let's summarize here for today. We talked a little bit about your presenter, that would be me. I gave you an introduction to Prodsmart. I talked about the 3 key benefits of Prodsmart itself, the 3 benefits of barcode scanning within Prodsmart, and then I showed you 3 different examples of how to use barcode scanning. Now, don't forget, those are not the only ways you can use barcode scanning. They're just 3 examples that we covered today. We covered identifying a worker, working on a specific operation via a paper traveler or header sheet. We talked about performing inventory movements. And then I talked about where you can access the barcodes from within Prodsmart itself. So you know where to find them so you can start using them today. Lastly, I talked about how you can reach the Prodsmart team. We would be happy and delighted to hear from you. So please reach out to us. That's it for today. So if you enjoyed today's session, please let us know. I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I thank you so much for your time. Bye for now.